What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today, as you guys can see, we're going to be taking a look at the Figma Demon Slayer Nezuko Kamado. This is the DX edition, so let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with that sexy packaging. Now, since this is the DX set, as you can see, it does come with the slip cover, which I'm going to show off first. It does have Nezuko right here in attack mode. It says Max Factory Figma Demon Slayer right there. Nezuko Kamado DX edition with the gold around it. I do dig that. Nothing much going on at the top. Nothing much going on at the bottom. Nothing much on this side. On this side right here, you do have a full image of her just walking, being cute, you know, being Nezuko. It says Nezuko Kamado DX edition right there. Figma at the bottom. On the back, you do have some poses you can get the figure into, as well as some legal stuff. And I'm really loving how these look with that forest-like background. I really wish they would have gave us like a cutout of that. But anyway, inside the box, as you can see, even more poses you can get the figure into. All that legal stuff once again. At the top right here, we have an image of her doing her little kick. I forgot what that's called, but basically she's fighting. She have that same image right here. You have that same image of her walking right here. On this side, you got the same image of her just in attack mode. And then, yeah, here is the front, the figure, and some of the accessories. So let's go ahead and bust Nezuko out of here because I'm pretty excited for this one. You guys know I love Demon Slayer. Now, here she is straight out of the packaging, looking all cute and adorable. And I gotta say, I do love this so far. Now, the first thing I want to cover, because I already know this is what a lot of people are here to find out, is this version better than the Buzz mod? I'm not going to answer that in this video. I will show them side by side, but I'm actually going to do a separate video doing a complete in-depth comparison of the two. Therefore, if you're still someone trying to make your decision, that'll help you out a bit more. I'll show them side by side, but I'm not going to do any kind of real comparison. But I will say, in terms of the looks, it is spot on. That's it. It's got Nezuko's eyes, those iconic Demon Slayer looking eyes. You've got the bow in her hair, the orange and black in terms of the coloring. The only issue I have with this, and it's the same one that I had with Tanjiro, I don't like how the arms kind of like droop down in the socket right here. I'm not sure how well it's picking up. Let me move my lighting. How it kind of like droops down right here, because I'm always so tempted to try and push that up so that when I'm photographing it, all of this will look connected. That's just an issue for me. Some people might not even be bothered by that, but it's just I don't know, it's an aesthetic issue for me, I guess you can say. But anyway, her hair does look really, really good. As you can see, it's kind of separated. And so if you want to pose it where it's blowing and things like that, you won't have any problems doing that. I don't care for that much because if you pose her just kind of standing here, it does look a little weird, but it's also helpful for when you want to plug that stand into her back. So yeah, but as you can see, she does also have her jacket on, which I don't even ever remember her taking off. It's got that same thing with the sleeves that Tanjiro has, where you can move the arm however you want, and then you can actually turn it at the sleeve as well. Now, one thing that they did do that I like as well that BuzzMod didn't do is you can see the fingernails on her, like the claws. I love that they did that. The BuzzMod, they didn't really do that, and that was a bother to me. But overall, that's a dope ad. And I still got some plastic right here I need to take off. Let's get that out of the way. But yeah, as far as the dress and everything, it looks good. The paint and everything is clean on here. They just did a really good job. And another thing I like about this is how they did the feet. Because with the way her feet are, I was so terrified that I was going to have one of the same issues as the Buzz mod. And here I am comparing them. I said I wasn't going to do that. But with the Buzz mod, sometimes I have a ton of issues getting it to stand up. But I don't have that issue with this at all. She stands just fine. So that's another thing that I'm happy about. But overall, this is just a beautiful looking figure. And I mean, if you love Nezuko, then you already know what to expect. Yeah. Now, one last thing I do want to cover, actually, before I forget. They did something different with this figure that I like. And also, here's a dislike I want to throw in there. The face kind of just comes off a little too easy. The joint doesn't plug in far enough. So like if you could just kind of be moving the head and this is just going to come off. So that could be annoying, just a heads up. But one thing I like that they did with this figure is this here. You can actually take this little scroll that's in her mouth. If you pull it, I just did it. It's hard to do on camera. There it is. You can actually take that off and have her with just neutral expressions. And I love that. That's so cool. I am worried that eventually it might get like a paint splotch. I'm hoping that that never happens. But it is something that's possible to do. And I love that they included that. So I just wanted to throw that in there. But anyway, let's go ahead and put her back so we can see how tall she stands. Now to the top of Nezuko-chan's. If you know, you know. To the top of her head, she stands a little bit over 5 inches. I'd say about 5 1/4. She's not quite 5 1/2. But yeah, I think she's definitely going to be decent size. I believe she's only 14 in the anime, so it makes sense. But even if they would have made her a little bit bigger or even a little bit smaller, it really wouldn't have made a difference because one of her demon abilities is to shapeshift. So, or basically just kind of alter her size so she can get bigger, get smaller, whatever. And so it wouldn't have been so bad as long as it still fit the 6-inch scale. But of course, I will be doing some size comparisons later so that you guys can see how she fits in with other figures. Now, moving on to that articulation, she isn't going to look up too much, mostly because of the hair. That's about all you're going to get, but she does look down very well, as you can see, to the point that her hair like sticks all the way out. She does get tilt and turn at the head. That moves very well. Her hair is on a hinge, certain parts of it, just these pieces at the back, nothing on the front. So if you want to raise them, even while she's looking forward to give it that like wind blowing effect, you can totally do that. Now her arms go up and out about that much, so that is really good. I love that a lot. As far as bringing them in, she can pretty much bring her arms all the way in. So if you want her attacking an opponent in front of her, she can do it. You just kind of got to wiggle around that joint to make sure it's where you want it to be. That's the thing. It's a butterfly joint. It's not the most effective, and there's that faceplate again, but I already mentioned that. But yeah, it's not quite a butterfly joint. It's just plugged in there, but it kind of moves like one. But yeah, she can move that around just fine. You can use it as a bicep swivel. As far as the elbow goes, it's a single joint, but you get double jointed range, so you can bring it almost all the way in. You can't bring it all the way because of the sleeves, but I mean, that's still a good enough amount for me. As far as these pieces right here, as I mentioned earlier, I have my autofocus lock on. Let me turn that off so it'll stop doing that. But yeah, anyway, these do rotate. Her hands are on the Figma hinge, and I'm so glad that they go with these. I keep zooming in. I'm looking at the figure and not the camera. You guys know how it goes if you review. But anyway, she does lean forward about that much. So she does have a really good, I don't know if it's a diaphragm joint. I don't think there's a diaphragm joint. I think it's all at the waist. But she leans back, not so much. Mostly because of the fact that, I mean, her hair. But when it comes to moving her forward, you can move her forward very well. Just be wary of the hair because it's being a pain right now. But she can swivel around. This piece, the engineering back here is, this face is killing me. But the engineering back here is really weird. It looks like it's a whole lot going on in there. There's a double ball peg, I know. Yeah, it's just a whole lot going on in there. Everything works, but it looks so weird. And let me put her faceplate back on. Now, as far as the dress, the legs can move, but they can't move as far as you see in the promo pictures with these, because you actually get alternate leg pieces for her dress so that she can kick forward and all that good stuff. But as far as moving with this on, she kicks forward about that much. She kicks back very well. She can still do the splits. She does have a thigh swivel. Single jointed knee, unfortunately, not double jointed. That's kind of whack, but I mean, oh well. As far as the foot movement, it goes down about that much, up about that much. She does get ankle rocker, and she does have toe hinge. It's very stiff. Now, one thing I'll say that does kind of suck is sometimes you will get some gapping in the foot. It's easily hideable, but it is there. So in terms of articulation, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad, but this whole mid piece right here can get very frustrating very, very fast. I don't like how they went about this at all. I wish they would have just made it a whole piece and then put the jacket over it. But yeah. Also, as far as the jacket, before I forget, it does hinge up and down. So yeah, you can move that around, no problem. But this figure just kind of looks like the more you mess with it, the more it's going to fall apart. That's not necessarily the issue, but it is the issue, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. But yeah, there's a whole lot going on, and I feel like it should have been engineered a little bit better. But overall, articulation is there. I can't complain about that. It's just the aesthetics of it is what really needed to be worked on. Now, when it comes to accessories, you don't get a whole lot, but you do get a decent amount. First off, she comes in the package with these wide open hands where it's kind of like she's reaching, relaxed, whatever you want to use them for. And then she comes with just this neutral expression. Now, she also comes with an angry expression. This is when she has the scroll in her mouth. Once again, you can take this off and you have it where her teeth are showing, and this looks really good because they painted around that white. That was something that BuzzMod didn't do, and so the transition between the skin and the teeth looks so bad. I'll show that in the video when I do the comparison, but some of you guys probably already know what I mean. The face just looks a little weird, but this looks really, really good. And also you have the line work in her eyes showing that she is going into full demon attack mode. You got the veins in her head just looking really nice. Eyes are painted very nice. And I know I say that a lot, but these are painted really good. And then you get this kind of like derp Nezuko face where she's like, what's going on? What's happening here? Maybe when Zenitsu's flirting with her, or she's just being adorable. Now, I don't think you can take the scroll out of the mouth of this one. I tried, and I don't know, you might be able to, but I don't want to rip or tear anything, so I'm just going to leave this one like it is. So yeah, I don't think you can, but if you want to, then be my guest. Let me know in the comments. You do get these alternate dress pieces, and this is for, once again, when she is in attack mode. I love that they put these in here to keep that plastic the way that it should be so that it doesn't shrink, and then you kind of have to force it on there. And it does tell you the side that it goes on. You can see the L right there, the R right there, so I really dig that. She comes with a few hands, actually, and this is one thing I love about Figma. They always give you the necessary amount of hands. We have like her attacking hands. We have a pair of relaxed hands. She doesn't come with anything to hold, but you get a pair of holding hands, and then you get a pair of fist hands. All of these do also have the nails sculpted on them, so I really love that. Now she does get another hand, which this is my favorite one, which this is the claw. If you know, then you know. It's kind of painted orange. This is for when she's doing like her, like kind of like a fiery attack. I believe the first time we saw this was either on Rui, the spider demon, or maybe it was those three brothers that were kidnapping girls and eating them. I don't know. But basically, she used this on some of those demons. She does come with Tanjiro's box that was given to him by his sensei. One thing I love about this is, well, actually two things I love about it. First off, these are already on there. These don't come off. Like the BuzzMod version, you don't have to plug these in. They stay on. On top of that, you can plug it into his back, so you don't have to worry about trying to adjust it, making it work to stay on when you're posing the figure around. It's going to stay on. So I really, really love that they did that. And to make it even better, it opens up. You can open this thing up, and that's something that I really like. Now, it doesn't look like anything much inside, but if you did get the DX Tanjiro that came with the shrunk down Nezuko, you can put her in here, and come on now, that's amazing. That is amazing. So kudos to Figma for doing that. That's a 1-up. I got to give them that. That is a 1-up. So I love that. Now, lastly, she does come with like this kind of like effect piece, if that's what you want to call it, where she is just being adorable once again, and you can kind of just plug it behind her, and that's how it's supposed to look. Basically, it's just her being cute. Now, how this works is you actually attach it to the stand. I normally don't show these. This stand piece plugs into her back, and then this stand piece up here is used to hold this piece on, and it's hard to do on camera. I think I got it. No, actually, I just ripped that plastic. Oh, wow. Thankfully, I'm not really going to be using this, but yeah, that's... Actually, I think that's supposed to come off. Or is it? I don't know. I think that's supposed to come off. I don't know how that's supposed to be, but I'm just going to leave it like this. But yeah, basically, as you guys saw, you just kind of plug that onto the stand, and then you go from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of accessories. Let's go ahead and move on to those size comparisons. Matter of fact, since I did it, I mean, here it is. If you tear that plastic off that you just saw, it still looks the exact same. So maybe that was meant to come off. I'm not entirely sure. But if you want to leave it on, you can. If you don't, it still works if you take it off. So there it goes. This is how it's supposed to look. Moving on to size comparisons, here we do have her standing next to the Figma Demon Slayer Tanjiro on the far left. On the right of her, we have her standing next to the Buzzmod Tanjiro. And all the way to the right, we have her standing next to her counterpart, the Buzzmod Nezuko. And that is definitely going to be a comparison video that is going to go on for a bit, because there's a lot to talk about in comparing these. But anyway, let's move on. Next up, here she is standing next to the other two figures from the Buzzmod line. We have her standing next to my favorite character, Zenitsu, and of course, the legendary Flame Hashira Rengoku. And lastly, for some extras, here she is standing next to the Revoltech My Hero Academia Bakugo Katsuki, the Figma My Hero Academia first release Deku, and the Marvel Legends What If Zombie Captain America. Alright, now moving on to my final thoughts about this figure. I gotta keep it a buck. In terms of looks, they did a great job. This figure looks superb. In terms of posing, for the most part, it's pretty good also. You can pretty much pose her however you want to. But that being said, she does have plenty of things to be frustrated about. For one, I do not like the fact that the faceplate just comes off so often. Like it's bad. Now, I will say it got better once I changed out the faceplates the first couple of times. But then I guess they just get real loose the more you swap them out. And I would understand if that was something that happens over time. But I've been playing with this figure maybe 20 minutes, if that. And you just kind of move any part of the body and the face is going to fall off. That is very frustrating to deal with. Now, also, this midsection piece right here, that is a pain, man. And maybe it's just because my brain is telling me it's incomplete and it's not supposed to look like that. I don't know. But it's pretty much annoying. Like, no matter how you turn the figure, you'll see that gap in there when you're trying to pose it. And sometimes it feels like it's just going to rip right off. And I think it's possible. If you pose this figure carelessly, you probably could rip that piece off. And if you glue it back on, it's not going to maneuver the same. So you have to be really careful with that. Now, for a $100 figure, that's not cool at all. I feel like they have had plenty of ways they could have worked around that. Now, it does help with the articulation, yes. But still, Buzzmod charged maybe 20 bucks more for this figure, and they figured out a better way to do it. Now, granted, it's soft goods, but that piece on the Buzzmod version, this particular piece right here is not soft goods. This is soft goods. This is hard plastic. This is hard plastic. They could have done the same thing. So that's pretty annoying. Now, everything else I can say I'm fine with. The sleeves on her, they work fine. The jacket works fine. These interchangeable pieces here, these actually work very well. One thing that I found is that for the most part, you really don't even have to use these if you want to pose her doing like kicking poses or anything like that. They are effective if you're trying to get a particular look, but you don't actually have to utilize these. So that's something that I do like. She does stand very well despite there being that gap in the foot. So that's something that I like. But overall, I gotta say, it's a decent figure. But to me, it has the same problem that Tanjiro had. And it's just that there's this feeling of not being completely satisfied with it. There's just something that's missing, and I can't say what it is because the Tanjiro eventually grew on me. This is one that I hope does the same thing. I really, truly hope that it does. But I don't know, man. Something about this figure is just lacking. Maybe it's because I know what I paid for it. If I would have paid 60, 70 bucks for this, maybe I would have been all right. But I think I spent 110. So it's like when you spend that much, you want dang near perfection. And it's not far from perfection, but I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. But overall, it's a decent figure. If you do get it, I highly recommend getting the DX version. The standard versions, they don't really come with much, and that's really going to leave you feeling unsatisfied. So, yeah, overall, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I am going to be doing the comparison video between this one and the Buzz mod. I'm hoping to have that one up in the next 2 days. I have 1 or 2 more reviews I have to do before then, but I am going to do the video, I promise you, so be on the lookout for that. But anyway, don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. Follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.